The first thing I want to say about just college football in general is that LSU team we saw this year is arguably the best
That's
college
true.
football
Team
you've
ever
ever seen.
College football championship. Let's break down the playoff, and then we'll go into the big game.
The first thing I want to say about just college football in general is that LSU team we saw this year is arguably the best
That's
college
true.
football
Team
you've
ever
ever seen.
Seen.
Like that is
Top to
insane.
bottom. The
I-
talent
yeah.
is insane.
It's ridiculous. I mean, they lost a lot though.
Oh yeah, they lost a
They
lot.
lost a lot, but I mean,
Yeah.
knowing that whole team over there and just that atmosphere and Ed, like they'll be fine next year. I'm sure they will, but they lost a lot. But just sticking to this year, one of the craziest teams I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, you don't put up 40 points in every game and do that in the SEC. Like this
Exactly.
is not Conference
That's
USA
SEC.
or Pac-12 where everybody's gonna score all the time. Like that's incredible. Like you go into Alabama, you whoop them, and you move on. You go into Auburn, whoop them, move on. You let A&M come in, you holding the 7 points, put up 55 on them, like, and then walk out like it's nothing. Like, that's crazy.
Exactly. What's the coach that got the OC job at the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, Brady.
Joe Brady.
Brady.
Joe
He
Brady.
gets a lot. He deserves a lot of credit
Oh,
too. That
yeah.
guy's amazing.
I
A
mean,
lot of credit.
That
yeah,
guy's
he
amazing.
won Best Assistant of the Year. I mean, and he deserved it for sure.
Let's get into the matchups in the playoffs, man. So what is it? Oklahoma, LSU. Well, that wasn't even.
That wasn't even
That-
hard.
I mean,
that wasn't even
Before
a
the
game.
playoffs even started, everyone was counting Oklahoma out, and they were right to do so.
Oh
I mean,
my
it's-
God!
I mean,
They have a
don't get me
chance.
wrong. Like at the beginning of the season, like I picked Oklahoma to be one of those teams, and I mean, like handily get into the playoffs. Like I just expected them to like do really well. Jalen Hurts is still one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Honestly, like this past season.
Yeah.
And I really like Jalen and everything. And Oklahoma had a whole lot of promise, but I mean, man, they just fell short and they couldn't get it done against the bigger teams.
Oh, yeah.
That and then once again, LSU is just the craziest team I've ever
Oh,
seen in
yeah,
my life. So
man.
it's hard for anybody to do well against them. So that playoff matchup, I mean, anybody would have struggled against LSU.
They're going to be interesting next year to see what LSU does. Because they really just don't have a lot coming back.
Let's get into the other matchup. This is the heartbreaker right here, man.
Woo!
Ohio State, Clemson, man.
That was tough.
That was tough.
The game is decided by a guy and the quarterback not having, like,
On
the
the same
same
page.
route. That's the only reason that Clemson got there. Because he cut out and got through it in.
My thing is, man, Ohio State, they could get whatever they wanted to. It's just that at key points, it's just like with the Ravens game. We'll get into that later. At key points, they would mess up on the drive. They get sacked or they call a bad play and it sets them back. But they were getting whatever they wanted. Clemson really couldn't stop them. Ohio State stopped themselves.
Honestly, Ohio State lost that game. I mean, Ohio State is just one of those premier just spots in the country for college football. I mean, Ohio State's Ohio State. They've been great for forever. This year, like, they were so good. It's been ridiculous. I mean, they had a chance to get that number one spot from LSU. They really did. Like, a legitimate chance. So, like, it's not like they're bad or anything. They just kind of beat themselves. They really did.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence played good, but, I mean, come on, guys. Like, Ohio State could get whatever they wanted in that
He
game.
still does not look good to me. Like, this whole year, he really didn't look that great to me. Like, even in the game that they beat Ohio State, I was still like, Trevor still ain't playing like Trevor did.
He's
like, a
fell
couple
off.
years
He's
ago.
fell off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd say a little
Not-
bit.
not
but,
too
I mean,
far,
he's still,
not too far.
I'd still say he's a premier quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It's just when he came in there, man, he was lighting it up.
Exactly.
Like, it was like, whoa, this dude he was like on 14 touchdown, no interception run. Everybody was like, dude, this guy's amazing.
Yeah,
So-
dude, Ohio State, LSU, that would have been a hell of a game.
That would have been nice.
That'd have been a lot better than the Clemson or LSU game.
Because everybody was like, we know LSU's finna put up points. We know Ohio State's finna put up points. But, like, which defense is finna show up?
Exactly.
Because,
They
which
both
I
had
think
great
LSU's defense would have came up.
That would have been very fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun to watch.
It's
We'll
just
see.
disappointing, man. That's really disappointing.
It's one of those things, man. And then that natty, I mean,
Yeah, since we're going right into it, the national championship. It kind of was what I was expecting, man. You know, I think at the beginning I was like, it'd be close in the first half, but you know, LSU was just too much to handle, man.
Oh yeah.
You got to literally play them every quarter, because if you don't, they'll put 21 up, 20 up, 28 up real fast.
One quarter.
So,
shout out Jake Hubenek. That dude on Twitter straight up called the freaking game pretty much.
He really
like
did
he was
score.
just a couple points off. He said it was going to be like, I think like 41-21 or something like that. And where he said it was going to be a close game until like about after the half, and then LSU is just going to pull away. And like
word for word.
I was like, wow, that's that's impressive. So shout out Jake, man.
Right with
That's
Yeah,
Dang.
but back
That's
to
like-
back to your boy Trevor Lawrence though. This is the thing with Clemson where they were messing up. Simmons, that dude is cold.
Oh yeah.
Cold.
Ooh, that's
And I
my
didn't know
boy.
about it until the game. I was like,
Dude, Isaiah
He's
Simmons.
put me on.
Dude, like I was like, dude, I've been on his hype train for probably this whole season. Like watching his highlights and everything, I'm like, this dude is a straight up
he's
monster.
a monster.
He reminds me of a Taysom Hill, but on defense. Like this boy can get
Everything.
safety, cornerback, linebacker, like inside and outside. I'm like, dude, this dude is insane. And if anyone was making plays on that defense, he was. And it's just like he couldn't really get help from anyone else.
I feel
Like
that.
that corner was getting toasted.
Oh, was it number
Number
9?
one,
number one was
one.
bad? I think it was
I think it was like Fulton
23
or something.
He was bad.
And I was like, man, there was a couple corners on both sides that were kind of getting burnt for a while, but then LSU was just like, I think I'm going to actually start playing now.
Yeah,
But-
Fulton is LSU when they got
Oh,
burned.
was it?
The,
Was it? Okay, I got
Clemson
that
one,
mixed
I don't
up.
know his name.
Okay.
He had
yeah,
dreads, and I was just like, "Who is this dude?" I was like, "Is this your first game, bro?"
I'm like, dang,
Man.
just stay with Chase.
Just
Just one play.
Play
One
zone.
So,
Play zone.
so I will say, I feel like if Clemson would have, kind of handed the ball off,
That's what
a
I was
little
finna say.
more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
dude, I feel like they would have a lot better chance to stay in that game.
Dude, they literally just forgot ETN was on the team. Like
I say
literally.
like that.
If you don't want LSU to
Dude.
score, slow the game down. Slow the game
Mhm.
down. Take control of the game. Run the ball. Because Trevor Lawrence can run. If you do a
He
couple
can.
read
I mean,
options,
Shoot, I mean, he showed that in the national championship.
Yeah.
He had a few good runs in there.
I think he led the
Exactly.
team in rushing for the entire game.
Which is ridiculous. When you have someone like
ETN.
ETN on your team,
Crazy.
there's no reason
And-
the quarterback should be
Hut-
the leading rusher. That's just like the Cowboys. Like, if you look at it, like, dude, a lot of the games they lost this year, dude, they didn't give
Didn't run the
Zeke
ball.
any carries. Dude, you just, when you have a premier running back like that, you've
Gotta
got
feel.
to use him. You have to use that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and quickly to Trevor Lawrence before we hop in the NFL. Dude, like in that game, he looked bad in that game.
Oh yeah.
Like he was overthrowing. I'm like
10 overthrows.
Mhm.
I was like,
Really?
dude, yeah,
Yes,
was
that was
10.
a stat.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
I knew he had a good bet, but that's crazy, man.
I was like, are you serious? I'm like, Trevor, what happened?
I don't even know this. I don't even know. Like, it seemed like his receivers would go up and get the balls that he would throw, but when you overthrow people by 8 or 9 feet, it's just like, we can't help you.
Because that's not their receivers, dude. Clemson receivers were, dude, this entire year, they've been phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
T. Higgins?
Like
yeah.
Justin Ross, T. Higgins.
Yes.
Who was that number 3 that
got clocked.
got freaking
Clock.
messed up?
I don't
And
know,
you know
but
what's
he's good,
crazy?
but he's
That's
good too.
all on Lawrence, bro. He put that ball to where
If you put it here, that guy's tucking it, and he's maybe getting hit in the back, but
But
he's tucking it.
putting it up there for that dude to have to go up and get it. And dude, that dude went.
Crushed.
He went up in that air, dude. He
got a vert
He
for
got
real.
some hops, and then he just got absolutely destroyed, which I felt so bad. I'm like, dude, that's not even on him. That's
Yeah.
not, dude.
He got cracked. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
God,
Yeah,
dang.
but
I'm surprised he didn't break any ribs or anything.
I
I know.
swear I didn't see him the rest of the game.
No, he came
He came
back.
back
in.
in. He came
I
back
think
in.
he got a touchdown.
Yeah,
Like,
Really?
afterwards.
he cost some more balls.
I was like, that's a hell of a man right there coming back in. Like,
Could have been me.
if I get hit like that, coach,